that are here in Vegas. Here at Orleans Arena, it is a party here. Celine Dion singing right now. She is, of course, one of the headlines when you are at Las Vegas. But right now, the headline, GCU basketball. This is a neutral site game, but GCU hosting this game against Morgan State. And this is your halftime report. I'm Kate Longworth. Thanks so much for joining us here on Your View. And I'm joined by Mike Vaught, Vice President of Athletics for GCU. And Mike, first, I just want to talk to you about Christmas in Vegas. I mean, aside from Chevy Chase and Christmas Vacation, the movie, Dan Marley doing that with his team right now. And how is this kind of a gift for the team? A little bit of a preview, if you will, come March when that WAC tournament is played here.
Well, you're right. They've been on the road for like a week now. They did spend Christmas in Vegas, but it's a good opportunity for us and our team to come here and play in the arena where we're going to play the WAC tournament since we've never got to participate in it. So to get the atmosphere, to get a feel for the court, you know, shooting in the building, I think is really important. That's the main reason we did it.
And of course, the non-conference action is coming to a close in just about a week. We'll be heading up to, GCU will be heading up to Seattle University on the 6th. In your opinion, how do you recap these first couple months in the books?
I think Dan's pretty pleased. You know, he's playing a lot of players. We've got a lot of young kids on the court. He's played 10, 12, 14 kids a game. And that's really good for the future when you're getting a lot of people in the game and a lot of them being young players. So I think the future's really bright. I think we'll be in good shape when we start conference play, and we're having a great game here tonight.
Yeah, and Nicole Powell on the ladies' side also coming up strong. The team has won 3 straight games. They have a little break right now, but what have you seen from the women's basketball team, especially as of late?
I've seen a lot of passion from our coaching staff and our players. Nicole's got a spirit about her that's contagious. She has a contagious smile. She's got that personality and a lot of energy, and she's getting a lot out of those student athletes right now, and I think she's looking forward for conference game play to start also.
And switching gears, talking a little bit about men's volleyball, the program right now, preseason ranking of 15 in the AVCA Division 1-2 poll. And I just want to talk to you about that home opener on January 18th, and the season starts on the 4th. What are you anticipating for this team?
Well, Coach Worley really did a nice job last year. Preseason ranking's nice. There's a lot of talent coming back. We're also going into the MPSF, which is a difficult conference. A lot of the Pac-12 schools in there, BYU, UCLA, USC, so the competition level is going to be a challenge. But I think our team's ready to step up. Coach and his staff are really confident. They're really excited about the season to get here. They're tired of practicing.
Yeah, practice. Well, across the boards you're seeing with the GCU Athletics, they're not afraid to go up against the big opponents.
Right.
And now it finally can all pay off. 4 years in the waiting, that transition. Now you're eligible for tournament action. What is it like for you to see that all come to fruition and know now WAC tournaments are a possibility? You're going to be back here at March, NCAA tournaments.
We're really excited for our student athletes, our coaches, and our fans, and just everybody at GCU. 4 years is a long time to wait. I was able to participate in the tournament the last 3 years as an athletic director, but our team hasn't been able to. So I'm really excited for the entire group at GCU. And when you look at our crowd that traveled up from Phoenix tonight, the alumni and the people we have in the area, I think we'll have really good support when we come back for the WAC tournament in March.
What is it about GCU Athletics that you guys have really, you've been prepping for this moment, but it seems like you've been poised and ready for it as well throughout the 4 years. You guys are playing like you were in it.
You know, I think it's just a culture that's been created at GCU, and we have high expectations with all of our sports, with all of our programs, with anything at the university. And that's a good thing because we want to raise the bar and we want to achieve greatness. So I'm really excited about the men and the women's teams to be able to participate here, come to Vegas, be a part of the conference tournament. It's special if you're a student athlete, and our student athletes haven't been able to experience that yet. So I'm really excited for everyone.
And you are a sports fan yourself, so when a team like this is on the road throughout the holidays and for several games, what does that do for a team and their camaraderie and chemistry?
You know, when you get to spend a lot of time together, it means a lot. I think Coach Marley will tell you that. He really creates a strong culture of togetherness, counting on each other, character, integrity, and when you spend all that time together on the road, you know, you really get to know some people better than you possibly, you know, find out some things about them you didn't know. When you've got some time in the airport to sit around and talk about their family, or where they're from, and what they like to do. And I think that's really good. And I think this period of about 10 days, so it's really good for our team.
That's right. The team not going home in between these games. They continue on the road. Right after we saw you at home last week, the team went to Louisville. From Louisville straight here to Vegas. They spent Christmas here in Vegas. Tomorrow they hit the road for Illinois.
Yeah.
Hopefully after a big victory. Mike Vaught, thank you so much for joining us. And you can follow Mike on Twitter at GCU_AD. And Scott Williams, we all are big fans, but Scott Williams said he wakes up every morning and gets his inspiration from something you said. So no pressure, but keep
that
it
makes
up.
me feel good. Scott said that, right?
Yeah, he definitely did. He said that's what he looks at. And he wants to know what time you wake up in the morning because he feels like the tweets go out at about 5 a.m.
I'm an early riser.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Happy New Year.
All right. It's already New Year in your schedule because you're so on top of it.
Thanks, Kate.
All right. Thank you, Mike Vaught. And coming back, his biggest fan, Scott Williams, and Barry Patel on the other side, recapping what happened in the first half. You are watching GCU basketball here on Your View. 46-33, the Lopes. We'll talk about it right after this.
It's light. I don't know if it'll fly that far.
We are back in Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh, look at that. Scott was somewhere down there last night.
I was in the mayhem last night. You should have seen me in the club, Barry. I was shaking it, baby.
Oh, that's a bad visual. 46-33, the Lopes on top by 13. They're enjoying themselves here at the Orleans Arena. Barry and Scott back with you, along with Kate Longworth. So glad you could join us here on this neutral site game at the site of the Western Athletic Conference tournament. Opening half, 13 points. They came to play. A little bit of energy coming off of that tough loss at Louisville. Marley's still not happy, though. He wants his team to come back in transition.
What is Coach Marley already happy at the half when Kate does that interview? He's happy with some of these things. He just doesn't want to let his team know when he goes in that locker room. He wants to be able to crack that whip to get him to come out here with that same intensity and energy and passion and competitive spirit that they had in that first half, and a lot of good things.
Because the Bears did finish strong. Let's take a look at our opening half highlights. We begin with Keontae Vernon with a tip back. Had 9 points and 6 boards in that opening half.
Yeah, he really got after it, and I love that Josh Braun heifer in there. Then Kinley knocking one down. He got a little tip in there. Josh Braun comes back after missing 2 threes, knocks one down. KP was feeling it from the outside. You mentioned the 9 and 6 that he had. And I love this one by Carr, because that was right after Vernon hit an outside Jay. He stepped out. I can shoot it from even further out. And then I love this one by Milstead there. A three-point play the old-fashioned way, flexing his muscle underneath. And then Jared Martin off the pine. He did a great job. 8 pine points, and then knocked down the outside shot from behind the arc as well. And then Carr, he stretched it out a little bit, got the iron so kind roll the dice there, and then Fifi Adu. He was the man in that first half, knocking him down from all over the place and then drawing charges on the other end as well. Then Josh Braun, he came back here, and this is the one that kind of got him started after he threw that lefty hook, and he hit a corner 3 ball later out in that half. But I really like the way they went inside, plus 8 points in the paint.
25 opening half rebounds to 17 for the Bears. 13-5 the assists. Bench points 19-11. Points in the paint big. 20-12. They're owning the paint here, Scott, against the Bears in the opening half.
Yeah, and I love their defensive field goal percentage too. Holding the Bears at just 33% shooting.
And Josh Braun, 8 points, 4 rebounds in that opening half. He certainly has done the dirty work in the paint. Kind of inspired him. He seemed to get a little fuel from that.
Getting fired up. I think it was really Martin.
Yeah.
He lit a fire when he came in there, and it became infectious. And Josh Braun came back in there, his second go-around in that first half, and then he started getting on the glass, and Matt Jackson was playing strong defense, and Milstead came in there with some good minutes. So it was a good team effort. It was fun basketball to watch.
All right, second half is quickly approaching. Kate will be back with more from the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. So keep it right here.
Welcome back. Lopes with a 13-point lead at the break, but Dan Marley saying he wants to see his team come up bigger on defense. A little bit of a switch because normally we're talking about they need more offense. But talk about the offense tonight. Keontae Vernon leading the way with 9 points. He's been solid also with 6 rebounds. Meanwhile, 3 guys coming up with 8 points. Fifi, Jared Martin off the bench with 8 points, and the mayor, Josh Braun. He struggled the first couple minutes, but he's finding his shot. We'll see if he can erupt for more in the second half. And no surprise when it comes to the Bears. Henley leading the way and leading all scorers with 14 points and providing that 1-2 punch is Philip Carr with 8 points. Guys, I heard we were talking a little bit about your New Year's resolutions. Mine, I resolved to get a full night's sleep. I have an infant at home, and maybe that will help with my bad habit of really being addicted to paying for $5 coffee every day.
Starbucks will kill you.
Sounds like a great endorsement.
Oh, look at that. Hustle inside there by Staley. Yeah, he probably got an earful talking about how the Lopes have beat him up on the boards, and Staley comes in and throws those broad shoulders around and snatches that open and gets fouled.
Redshirt junior from Marietta, Georgia. It's his first free throw. Just had 1 attempt coming in. Quarterback for the Bears football team, Elijah Staley. Just a 6th game back, finishing up the football season.
Those guys are 2-sport athletes. They amaze me. They can put on the pads and then take those off and put on some basketball sneakers. Julius Peppers was a good player, 2-way player from North Carolina.
Vernon got a fortuitous bounce off of the arm of Staley. Vernon's going to be called. Did you play anything other than basketball? Did you play baseball?
I grew up playing baseball. That was my first love, but I never played baseball on into high school. I kind of, I don't want to say fallen out of love with the game, but I didn't have the same passion for it that I once had when I started really young, because I had a brother who was 3 years older. So I started playing baseball at like the age of 4. By the age of 5, I was playing with, you know, my brother's friends that were 8 and 9. I was that good at baseball. So I was a home run hitter, pitcher, first baseman, shortstop. I did it all.
Yep.
You're getting better and better as a broadcaster, even both basketball and baseball, I've noticed over the years. In fact, I don't know if the Bulls would have won any championship if I had the guys started, because they hadn't won nothing until I got there.
A guy named Jordan.
They just had that on Classic Sports, the 92.
Yeah, or it's like a
NBA Finals championship.
Glad you left your room to come to the game.
I was thinking, you know, I could really stay here and watch this skinny 42 kid run up and down the floor, good looking, head hair, all night long, but, you know, had to go work for the man.
It ended well, didn't it?
It did end well. I know how we won game 1. Yeah. They smoked us in game 2, though.
But a wake-up call?
A wake-up call, yeah. We hadn't lost the home game so long in the playoffs. We got a little cocky. Well, Shaq Carr. Shaq Carr getting some good minutes here in the second half.
Carr inside the waiver. Back out Braun. 8 on the shot clock. Carr driving, jumping, hopping, in. How about that?
Well, Shaq Carr, he's getting the start because Oscar Frere's out with that bum knee, and he's making the most of his opportunities. Look at how fast Kinley gets down the floor the other direction. That is driving coach Marley mad. He gets a timeout. Look, he is steaming. Someone's going to get an earful.
Favor called for the foul.
That's after a made basket. Kinley busts it to the other end.
Timeout, Lopes. 18:45, just getting underway here in the second half. 50-36, the Lopes on top. They've out-rebounded the Bears 25-18 in the game. Bench points 19-11. Points in the paint 24-12. Send it over to Kate Longworth.
Well, Scott, you know, you were just talking about that game 2 you guys lost, and you were it sparked you guys. It got you going. And I wonder, have you seen someone with this Lopes squad step it up? I think in the past we've seen Dwayne Russell really had that edge, that fiery attitude when he took the court, and we know he meshed really well with Dan Marley's intensity. And I think Dan, after some of these rough losses, has been looking for this team, for that guy to kind of stand up, not just be a quiet leader by example, but kind of fire up this squad, get them mad at those losses, not just be a tough team, be the team to beat. Are you seeing anyone come into that role, or do you think that role has already been established? Well,
that's a great observation there, Kate. And I think it's been a number of different guys, but mostly Vincent and Braun. They seem to be the guys after losses that come out and set the tone for how the game's going to be played. They've also got some nice bumps in this particular game by Martin off of that.
Your favorite Martin, man.
Yeah, my favorite Martin. He wears number 42, and I think that's why I just like the way the kid hustles, but I do have an affection for the number 42. That's the number that I wore most of my playing career as well. But they get it from a variety of different guys, but I hope Coach Marley wants it to be his 5-year seniors, Braun and Vincent, on a consistent basis.
Will definitely come to play. Take a look at the upcoming schedule for GCU, Illinois. 2 p.m. Tune into 1580 The Fanatic, Illinois. Then it's conference play getting underway Saturday, January 6th against the Red Hawks at Seattle. Michael Potter, Tom Piper will have out the call, and then GCU Arena. It'll be a whiteout. January 11th, the home opener for conference play against the Aggies. We'll have it right here. 7 p.m. tip, 6:30 pregame. Kenley connects. Kenley quietly with 15 points in the game.
I wouldn't be surprised if this kid goes for 30 tonight, because he got off to a slow start. He has really picked it up.
At 31 in his debut, coming back from injury against George Mason.
We ever figured out what was hurt on him? Because I don't see the effects of any injuries. You wouldn't think it'd be a foot injury as fast as he's flying around on this court. They go back to that zone defense that gave the Lopes some trouble in the second half of that first half.
Carr, Vernon's going to try long distance. Labor was there, so was Carr. Foul underneath, and my goodness, a hoop and a harm.
They got some little big men down here. Milstead and Carr showing some muscle. Who's their strength and conditioning coach? Because this guy should get a nice applause right there. Serious golf clap for Gabe.
Gabe Orland.
Yeah, hey, those little big guys been hitting them upper body workouts hard.
3-point play. Martez Cameron. 40 assists coming into the game for the Bears. Kenley. Look out. Kenley kicks it back out. Cameron. Kick back out. Kenley trying to drive on Braun. Makes his way into the paint. Dishes back out. 3-point attempt. Off the mark by Cameron. Fresh 30 on the shot clock for the Bears.
You sure Staley's a quarterback?
Gillespie.
He's down here giving Labor the what for. Are you sure he's the quarterback? That could be more of a middle linebacker with his body.
How about Roethlisberger, Jameis Winston type.
Yeah, Cam Newton. That's a big dude to be playing quarterback.
6'7", 245. You can see over those offensive and defensive linemen. Benson. Carr, Braun, far side, back to Carr. Braun. Inside, Labor right at the line. Muscles his way, left hand. Foul called, looks like
got Staley. Yeah, they got Staley, and give the young freshman, big man, some credit because he didn't shy away from the contact and let Staley have some distance between him and the ball to be able to try to block or alter that shot. He took it right to the chest of that big 6'7" foot Staley down there and got that body contact, and now he's going to the line where he's got a nice stroke that rims out.
Seriously, you know the rule.
I know the rule, but I can't help myself. Maybe that should be my New Year's resolution. Stop jinxing the GCU free throw shooters, talking about their percentages or streaks made.
Ali was 16-22 coming in. Cameron eyed by Carr. Carr bouncing pass. Oh, Braun's going to be called fouling Kenley.
They put Braun on Kenley to try to take the challenge here, slowing down his offensive attack, and Kenley just so quick with that first step, gets that contact on Braun as he's trying to slide towards the baseline.
Josh still wanted to know what the call was for. Cameron. Carr, Philip Carr, in and out. Shaq Carr comes down with a rebound for the Lopes. Up to Benson. Benson stopping, 3-point attempt. In and out, pulled down by Carr. The Bears on the run.
How many boards is that for Carr now? That's half a dozen boards. All he does is rebound that ball.
Off the mark for Philip Carr. 6 boards for Philip Carr. Benson, little delay there. Good.
I like that about Benson and Braun. They don't let one 3-point miss bother their next 3-point shot. That's confidence in your shot. That's because you get in the gym, you put that time in the lab. You shoot 500 shots a day. You got the confidence to shoot the next one.
1 of 4 from the arc. Oh, Philip Carr's shot rings out. Labor with the rebound up to Braun. Oh, Vernon's going to be called.
Vernon and Carr trying to run down the floor to get position. Vernon gives him a little bit of a forearm shiver that sends Carr to the floor. Look at Labor. He's got a little bit of Italian soccer player when he gets contacted in the rebound. And he picks it up ahead. But look at
Just throw him down.
Deontay Vernon. That was just a simple old one of those WWE wrestling moves. They have a lot of those events here in Vegas.
They do.
Super slams and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
Oh, the UFC, yeah, the UFC, that's that mixed martial arts. I don't like that.
You don't like that?
No, I'm not a fan of that. That's a blood sport. I didn't get behind that one.
Oh, Martin.
Oh, bro.
Oh, really? Oh, players down though, Kenley.
Is that Kenley?
Yeah.
You get one in the shoulder and the nose there? Seeing stars trying to blink his vision back. Martin jumps out, hedges out here quickly and tries to get there, and it looks like he got his head kind of snapped into into Martin's side. That might be the only thing that can slow him down. I like the way that kid plays.
Oh, yeah.
You know, between Carr and Kinley, this is the third leading scoring duo in the country from the returning last year. And then look at Martin.
He's so good at that.
He is really good at anticipating where the offensive player is going to be at the point of attack and establishing his position before the offensive player arrives and getting that charge. Never afraid to give up his body for his teammates. Just so good.
And with that, we send it over to Kate Longwood.
Well, guys, we know that the Lopes are gearing up for WAC play. It starts on the 6th up at Seattle University. But first, let's take a look at the college landscape when it comes to NCAA and AP Top 25. And a big upset to that Top 25, and it came from the WAC. New Mexico State taking a big victory over Miami over the weekend. But looking at the top 5, Villanova's still there. Michigan State following them at 2, and Arizona State at 3. They picked up another first-place vote and will travel to Arizona to take on the Wildcats on December 30th. Meanwhile, Duke is at 4, and Texas A&M climbs to that 5 spot. That's where UNC used to be until they broke a 23-game home winning streak. I'll let Scott fill you in more on that. They're at lucky number 13 now.
That's going to leave a mark.
GCU has the nation's longest winning streak with 17 games. They're at number 10. That's their highest ranking in school history. Number 12, Oklahoma, led by the freshman Young. They jump up to 5 spots this week. And as I mentioned, New Mexico State making national headlines as they went to the finals of the Diamond Head Classic, beating Miami. They dropped to number 15. Villanova, meanwhile, plays at DePaul tonight. And number 6, Xavier, is at Marquette. So those are the only top 25 teams in action. We do have some WAC teams in action tonight. Well, I'll be updating you on those scores later. And we mentioned that game between Arizona State and Arizona. Arizona is ranked number 17, and that big game is on the 30th. But of course, the big games for the Lopes start on the 6th with the WAC play. And then, as you mentioned, Barry, New Mexico State, the Aggies, they are red hot. And it will be a whiteout when they come to town on the 11th at GCU Arena.
Always a great atmosphere. You know, Vegas also a prize fighter. You know, a lot of Ali, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Kate takes the gloves off talking about UNC.
Yeah, she bare knuckled me right there. That loss to Wofford was a Wofford. I don't even know how you say it. That was a horrible loss. One of the worst losses in the history of basketball for a defending NBA or NCAA champion. But how about Texas A&M and TCU? 2 football powers in the top 10 in college basketball.
Oh, Braun with a nice pass into Laver. Josh Braun playing a complete game here. Sykes called for the foul on Laver. Braun with 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists.
One more. Kate gave us some nice gift for the New Year's, some really cool socks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check on to make sure there's like itching powder or something like that in the
she
socks.
Go stoop that low.
I don't know. The way she knocks me around on that,
I know.
that top 25 board.
She looks a little dizzy, she floats like a butterfly.
Stings like a bee.
Kenley drives. Stepped out. Lopes will inbound, 15:25 to go. $20-point lead.
Doing it with the D.
Benson comes back out. To his right, Carr cuts in. Over to Braun, Braun for 3. In and out, pulled down there by Sykes. Azaria Sykes. Out for Davis.
Well, they're going to learn that Davis likes that move to his right hand to throw the floater high up off the right side of the backboard. He's going to shimmy and shake and stunt like he's going to go left, but ultimately he's coming back to that right hand finish, and you just got to get up on that strong right hand and take it away. See if he can finish going to his left. Jack Carr's been burned a couple times tonight by that move.
Second on Jared Martin. Fifi Adu comes in for Casey Benson. Philip Carr for the Bears comes to the line. 1 of 2 tonight. Nine points now for Philip Carr. Had 23 in the last game against George Mason. Preseason MEAC Player of the Year, Philip Carr.
He's on his way to another double-double. He's got 19 career double-doubles. 4 this year, make that 5 this year. And with those 6 boards to go along with those 10 points, I wouldn't be surprised if he registers another double-double this year tonight.
They do. Over to Shakar. They play catch. Fifi for 3. In and out. Kenley takes it up the court. Braun's behind him. Loses it. Look out. Picked his pocket. Leon Letley. Lever!
That's great hustle by your 5th-year senior, Josh Braun, poking that ball away. And a dude does a nice job keeping his eyes down court. And he delivered a strike to the Italian style and rumbling right down the middle of the lane.
Kenley, far side driving. Fifi takes the fall. Davis driving again, goes right in, doesn't go. Who's there but Josh Braun? Oh, careful, official. Check Carr, leaves it underneath Jared Martin. Oh, what's Bozeman gonna do? The Lopes are on fire here, up by 20.
They got the transition game going off the steal or the rebound. They are getting out and getting to that bucket. Now they have pushed that lead to 22 points.
And Coach Bozeman's gonna call a timeout, pull back Kenley from the official. 62-40. There's something about Vegas. The Lopes seem to be thriving on the energy here in the city. Let's send it over to Kate.
Well, guys, we've been talking a lot about it, the whack and the play that starts on the 6th. So let's take a look at the action tonight. These teams in action. Cal State Bakersfield taking a hit at Arkansas. The final there, 95-68. 5 players for Arkansas were in double figures, led by Vapor. Meanwhile, with 12 minutes to go in the second half, Chicago State trailing at Wisconsin, 57-41. The score there right now. And we want to remind you that we have some big games coming up for GCU squads. Of course, after this game tomorrow, the men's team hits the road heading for Illinois. That game is Saturday for a 2 p.m. tip-off. You can follow the action by listening in on the Fanatic, 5080 AM, 99.3 FM, and 95.9 FM with Michael Pogger and Tom Kuiper. And also, GCU women's basketball, they'll be in action in the new year, and you can tune into GCU.TV for their games. Nicole Powell's team right now riding a 3-game winning streak after a big victory just before the holidays against Santa Clara.
Michael Potter, Tom Kuiper. From Louisville to Vegas, back to Champaign, Illinois. Then to Seattle. Jet setting around the globe. Tune in. The Lopes on the road, 1580 The Fanatic. Cameron eyed by Carr. Martin comes out. Kenley loses it a bit. Cameron inside. Philip Carr eyed by Martin. Carr looking for some room. Martin got a hand on it. Cameron floats one in, pulled down by Labor. Oh, Kenley takes it right back. Labor's going to be called for the foul, and what a turnaround is Kenley. That's just determination.
Got to get away, figure out a way to clear that basketball. I mean, if you're Shaq Carr, don't make the big try to throw it between the defender. Run to the other side of the floor, give him a better angle to try to make that outlet pass and take a little pressure off the young big.
Kenley money from the line, 6 of 6. 17 points now. Damari Milstead in for Carr. Looks like Marley saw what you saw. Taiwan Kenley from Harlem, New York.
You like his game, don't you?
Yep.
I
bet
like
Marley
his
likes his game too. Oh, look at this. Picked off by Pace and Kenley. Whoa, man, that was with a statement.
Yeah, and there was little room to get up. He busted out of the top of a phone booth to slam that one home.
He's got a little Russell Westbrook in him, doesn't he? I mean, he doesn't quit.
No, and he's leading the attack out here in this trap. He's the point man out on the top, and he's the best offensive player. I like the way he rolls.
They do. Inside Martin. Oh, foul called on the Bears. Fifi to inbound. Laver over to Philip Carr. Martin high there by Laprie. McCray Pace. Braun. Nothing but air. Milstead. Oh, look at that little.
How about the
Play
hustle
by
play?
Fifi. Tried to knock it in off a player to go out of bounds, and it just ricocheted into Milstead.
Vegas, baby. Fortuitous bounces down here.
Martin's going to be called for pushing Kenley. Kenley just gets up all by himself, I might add. Didn't need a teammate to help him.
It's amazing. You don't really need a teammate to help get you up off the hardwood, but look at that hustle play. Ricochets it right off the defender, right over to Milstead, who easily puts it in off the basket. Probably two of the easiest points Milstead will have all year long.
Jackson's coming in for Jared Martin.
I gotta ask a question. Does Adu get an assist for that if it hit off of a, it hit off of Sykes? Does he get it? He got credited for an assist for that?
Yep.
How about that? Seems like Sykes should get the assist if you ask me.
I don't think they award that.
Good point.
Milstead is Jackson. Jackson. Milstead takes it from Adu. Fifi comes out. Milstead over to Adu. They play catch. Inside Laver. Turnaround short. Philip Carr with the rebound. Philip Carr moving on Milstead. That's a travel.
Oh, the ball got batted. That's a bad call. If I'm Carr, I'd be a little upset on that one too, because the ball was batted while he was dribbling. He should be able to regain control of that basketball and continue dribbling once again. Coach Bozeman doesn't like the call.
64-46. Lopes over the Bears from Morgan State. From the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Leave it right here.
Welcome back, GCU, right now with a commanding 18-point lead over Morgan State here at Orleans Arena. We're coming at you live on Your View. And the team, of course, here right now for the Sutrasite game before hitting the road to Illinois. And then it's the new year, and it's time for conference action. So let's take a look at the WAC standings. Pretty impressive all around. If you remember, in years past, several of the WAC schools have come out of the preseason with losing records. Not the case this year. New Mexico State 11-3, and they are coming off that impressive win at the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head. and Zach Lofton leading the way for them. He was the WAC Player of the Week for the 3rd time this season with an 11-3 record. That's the Aggies. Grand Canyon right behind them, 9-4, followed by Utah Valley, 9-5, and Seattle University. That's where they'll start off the action for the WAC play. They are at 9-6.
Yeah, Utah Valley at 9-5. They're the team I've kind of got my eye on. Mark Pope has been really coaching them up, and two of those losses were at Duke and at Kentucky.
Labor can't put it in. Zach Lofton, another fine athletic specimen for the great state of Minnesota. Kinley.
Thought Kinley might have forced that one. 6 of 14, his scoring slowed down just a hair.
Oh, Josh Braun, they needed that lift.
Yeah, Josh Braun, he's 4-9. He's got 3 threes in this game now.
11 points, 5 boards for Josh Braun off the glass short. Philip Carr's there. He's going to be fouled to get the hoop and the harm.
I know it's hard. That guy is just a hard-working cat underneath there on that glass, but you got it. He just goes to the offensive boards. He figures the more I go, the more I get. But look at this one by Josh Braun. So deep in that left corner that defense just can't rotate out that far, that fast. It gives him a clean look at the basket. He's going to get a well-deserved blow on this at the 11:01 mark here.
Weber takes the seat. Josh Braun takes the seat. Benson in. Roberts, Blumberg's in the game. Benson up high to Fifi. A do off a car, doesn't go. A do hits the floor.
A lot of contact, no whistle.
Pace, right hand off the mark. Philip Carr's there. Picks it up off the paint. He's on his rear end. Dishes it back out. Kenley. Cameron. Back to Philip Carr. Carr driving on Blumberg's. Jackson.
No, I think you got to push underneath. They said 5, but I think it was on number 3, Sykes.
Yeah, I heard 5, and Kenley wasn't around there.
Marley, he chased everybody off the line, told all his players to go to half court. He had Casey Benson down there shooting free throws by himself. None of his mates around.
Why would he do that?
I think maybe they're afraid about the transition, and they realize Casey Benson's such a good free throw shooter. He's more than likely going to make it. Let's go ahead and get everybody back to get our defense set. That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, is it a matter of the transition issue he talked about at half? Oh, Benson kind of stumbles. Oh, and a statement dunk, LaBrie McRae paste.
Wow. Hey, you had 4 guys back here off the line, and they give up a dunk? How does that happen?
Cannot happen.
The whole point was to get people back so you don't give up an easy bucket on the other end after a made free throw. There's some things to clean up for sure. And that's just time away from the lab, being out on the road.
They do. 5. Benson stumbling. Benson's going to be called.
Another GCU turnover, but look at that one again. Oh, Roberts Blumberg, welcome to Division I basketball, son.
Azariah Sykes at the line. 1 of 2 tonight. Man, the Bears have gone to the line tonight. The Lopes just 9 of 11 from the free throw line, while the Bears are now 20 of 25. Jackson up to Benson. Under 10 minutes to go, second half. Damari Milstead. Floater up high, and nothing but net. What a nice, sweet touch by Damari Milstead.
It certainly is. He's made his presence felt tonight. He's making the most of his minutes.
Cameron up high with Blumberg's. Out of bounds, 23 on the shot clock.
I love this one by Milstead because he's not afraid to take it in there amongst the trees. Just floats that one up over the top. And like Blumberg's here coming from the weak side. swatting that one away. Milstead says it's good to have 6'11" friends.
Stanley Davis in, Pace is out. Syfax in the game as well for the Bears. Kenley hits the floor. Coach Bozeman giving the official an earful. Kenley loses it. Quickly up to Benson. Benson driving on Davis, off the glass and in.
Well, that was nice. Get the turnover and steal a page from the Bears book and get yourself a transition bucket. I love fast break points.
Cameron bounce pass, Philip Carr. Into the paint, back out. Near side. Syfax had to pick it up. Cameron over to Carr. 10 on the shot clock. Carr to his right. Slashing off the glass, short. Syfax cuts in, but Benson takes it away. Bounce pass, Damari Milstead. Benson floater, not there. Came up and hit Kenley.
And these young players love the floaters so much, but Vincent could have just taken one more either long stride or dribble and laid the ball up off of the board. But unselfish, well, that's the previous play there. Vincent goes all the way to the hole, got a little contact. And the next one there, he had an opportunity probably to take it all the way to the board and lay it in, but chose the floater and it kind of rolled out on him. And Coach Marley couldn't believe, like, hey, don't make it harder than it has to be. Go ahead. Defense hasn't jumped in front of you. Keep that dribble alive and take it right onto the bucket. He gives it up, maybe not really expecting to get it back, but kind of got it back. He got kind of a no man's land when he took off for the jump. One dribble hard to the rack. He could have laid it up off the glass. He knows it.
Kenley a perfect 10 for 10 from the line. Now 11 of 11. 24 for Kenley. Check Carr. Led by Kenley, moves right. Oh, Davis all over Fifi. Carr nowhere to go, back to Jackson. Jackson long distance, in and out. Bears are shutting them down defensively. Syfax. Over to Davis. Davis, floater, not there. Blumberg's got a hand, knocked it out. It'll be the Bears. Oaks lead still at 20. Carr takes it from Kenley. Gives it back to Kenley. Fifi got a hand on it. 25 on the shot clock. Inbound, Philip Carr. Cutting to the right off the glass. And in.
I've seen the Lopes, as good as defense as they play, they've given up more buckets at the rim than I can remember in a long time.
They do, to his left. Comes back to his right. Moving around Davis. Foul called. Josh Braun has definitely come to play. 11 points in the game, 5 rebounds. So Josh Braun has been, he seemed to be getting involved as we come back. Barry and Scott with you here from the Orleans. He seemed to have been involved under the basket, in the paint, doing some of the dirty work early on to kind of get that muscle into the game.
Right, just 8 points in that Louisville game. He had to be more aggressive in this basketball game. And one of the guys we highlighted in the starting lineup that said he's got to pick his game up. The team needs him to be more aggressive offensively. And it's not always by knocking down shots or driving the ball to the hole. Sometimes it's getting an offensive rebound and a putback. Scoring with your back to the basket, pushing the ball ahead, keeping the ball alive. Offensively, there's a lot of different ways you can affect the game besides just scoring, and Josh Braun has done all of that tonight.
3 of 7 for the from the arc. Josh Braun, 11 points in the game, 22 minutes. Well, celebrate the new year by coming out and supporting GCU women's basketball. Head coach Nicole Powell and the Lopes getting some well-deserved rest after this afternoon's game, but they'll come out blazing on January 2nd when they faced Arizona Christian at 6 p.m. in the GCU Arena. Conference season starts on the 6th against Seattle. Great atmosphere here at the Orleans. Cheer, dance, band making their way over here after Christmas. Great to see them here.
How'd they get up there? They fly up here or they get a bus? They bus,
yeah.
Bus them up, they bus back tonight, or they stay overnight?
You know, I don't know. I believe they're staying the night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Night in Vegas. Will we be able to hit a show tonight?
What?
Are we going to be able to hit like a good Vegas show?
Like Wayne Newton?
Vegas? No, bro.
No, Wayne Newton?
No.
Lola Falana?
I like the Cirque shows, you know, the ones with...
Summer? What? Cirque du Soleil?
Yeah, Cirque du Soleil, not the animal act.
A Blue Man Group?
No, so be serious now for a minute.
I'm sorry.
You know the performers in the Cirque du Soleil?
Cirque du Soleil, yeah.
They're great performers. They do all kind of balancing acts and juggling and never mind.
Wonder from Down Under?
Stop.
No, I'm sorry. That was totally inappropriate. Cirque du Soleil. It is. How are tickets a little pricey?
The O show. They do like dives and flips and twists. Or there's one that they do to the Beatles.
That's cool.
Love. Yeah, that's the name of that one.
Have you seen the show?
Hey, I'm telling you right now, Vegas has got some of the best shows this side of New York City.
For sure. Lady Gaga just announced she's going to be in residency in 2018.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You a big Gaga fan?
Like Poker Face.
Britney Spears.
My Poker Face.
Oh, here we go. Blumbergs for 3. Roberts Blumbergs.
Shot that one from the strip. That was nice. Blumberg's getting into the act from behind the arc.
I hate to say this, but the whole crew was wondering, after your huge night last night, we thought maybe it might be a good gesture if you took everybody to a show.
I'm telling you, I'm down.
I didn't say that.
Oh, here we go. Look at this, another transition bucket.
Drive it off, Fifi. And with it, I bid you adieu.
The Lopes are having some fun now. Out to their largest lead, 25 points. Guess who?
Kenley. Goodness gracious.
How does he get behind the defense so fast after made buckets? He's like a magician. Copperfield.
There's another great show.
I like Copperfield. You know what I like? I like, remember Danny Gans? Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
He was so good.
Yeah.
He passed, didn't he?
He did pass, yeah, unexpectedly.
Shame. What a talent. Saw him. Got to see Danny Gans. Didn't know anything about it. Went in cold. So pleasantly surprised.
Didn't say anything about taking a crew anywhere. But...
We can talk about that. We can talk about a little trip. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I went last
Tournament
night.
in March?
I went to that, that iconic Vegas sign.
Oh, yeah,
out on the strip. I went out there, got some photos out on the strip.
You
out
did?
There. Yeah, man.
Wow, they're like a tourist. Blumbergs. Again! Roberts. Blumbergs.
My goodness, these freshmen are showing out tonight. They're Laver doing his thing inside, or Blumberg knocking them in from outside. Jack Carr with the charge on Kinley.
Carr paid the price for that one.
That's one more time here, because that's the back pick, it just pops. Easy, get a switch and no communication there by Morgan State. Too much time to find the range and fire.
Jack Carr sharing a laugh with Kenley. Carr was checking for some wounds after taking that hit. Jackson leaves it for Shaq Carr. Carr pulls back to his right. Braun back to Shaq, over to Damari Milstead. Milstead drives, floater, short, tip back. Oh, Blumbergs can't get it there. Free, McCray pace.
A little surprised to even see Josh Braun back in this game with this huge lead.
Blumbergs stoned him. Kenley back off the glass.
That dude is a scoring machine. I'm trying to look over here. He's 12 of 12 from the line, 8 of 18 from the field. He's got himself in 33 minutes. How many points is that now? 29 points. He had 31 points in his first action.
Yeah.
He's going to break that mark tonight at his pace.
No disrespect to Philip Carr, but how is Kenley not the preseason player of the year? This guy is phenomenal.
Well, you know, I will say in Carr's
good too.
If I can get on Team Carr for a second, if you mix in the points in the rebounds, and the block shots and playing the defense.
All right.
So, you know, and Kenley's been a scorer, but can he do the assists? Can he provide the other things to make others around him a better player as well? That's going to be the test for him for the second half of the season.
Carr connects. Cameron brings it up. McCray Pay, side by Blumbergs. Cameron, look to his right. Bounce pass, Carr. Martin got a little bit of a hand on it. Carr trying to muscle his way in. Loose ball, Cameron's underneath, and Martin swats it away.
Poor Cameron, that's not even fair. Guy goes 5'10" down there. Give him a chance to get the ball up on the rim. I'm just kidding. This is what you want here. Swarm to the basketball. Jared Martin, volleyball, spiked that thing down to the first row. I was a little off with my prediction tonight. I thought this was going to be a low-scoring affair. I did it 65-55 Lopes. Wow, I was way off.
You were. I think we all were. Braun for three. Good! Bam! Josh Braun, season high 88 against Morgan State here tonight in Las Vegas. Bottle it up for postseason play here.
I was just getting ready to say, save some of these threes for the WAC tournament.
Cameron, he's looking for three. Short. Pushed out by Philip Carr. Hey, I want to take this opportunity just to, we lost a really great human being, Jerry Kindle from the University of Arizona, longtime baseball coach, major leaguer, led the Wildcats to 3 College World Series titles. And another great human being from the state of Minnesota. And my father had an opportunity to meet him when he played in the major leagues with the Twins. And I got to work alongside Mr. Kindle years ago doing baseball for the University of Arizona for Fox. Condolences out to Jerry Kindle and his family and the Arizona Wildcat baseball family. He's just a fantastic human being, and he's going to be missed. So just wanted to make sure to get that word out, this opportunity that I have here tonight.
Yeah, I never got a chance to meet Coach Kindle, but I've heard so many people fire off on Twitter what a great man he was and how he impacted his life, their lives.
91-60, the Lopes well in control here in Nevada. Josh Braun tearing it up, 17 points.
Welcome back. It's a party here in Vegas, specifically at Orleans Arena, as the Lopes have a commanding 91-60 lead, followed by 2 back-to-back three-pointers from Josh Braun. A lot to celebrate here. But guys, I can only think of a couple things when you think of Dan Marley bringing his team after that Louisville loss. They came here to Vegas. Obviously, they've been hitting the practice court stuff. But two movies came to mind. I was first thinking Vegas Vacation, right? And then obviously you always think of Christmas Vacation. Clark Griswold, Dan Marley, pretty much the same thing, right? And of course, over the holidays this past week, we've been seeing some of those traditional movies playing over and over. The Home Alone, Rich Reed, our producer mentioned Elf, such a favorite. I always like to see Love Actually. What about you guys? This time of the year, what movies do you tend to gravitate towards?
Always love It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah,
Elf is funny.
I like Die
Elf
Hard.
is amazing.
Die Hard's not a Christmas movie.
I beg to differ.
Come on, are we going to have this debate too?
Die Hard, baby.
ruining
And
the
then,
vibe.
remember the one the year without a Santa Claus, that animated one with the heat miser and the snow miser?
I'm
Remember
still
that?
going to say Elf.
I love that one. That
Let's
was my
just cut him
favorite.
out of this conversation, Barry. Let's go back to the
right,
tradition.
What about the Eddie Murphy one? When he was trading space places? Was that a Christmas movie too?
I don't know. Is
You don't remember that? Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd?
Oh, sure.
It was in the winter around Christmas. Kind of has to do like with Die Hard. If you think that was a Christmas movie.
Die Hard was like Christmas Eve, wasn't it? They
The
were at a Christmas,
Nakatomi Plaza
they were at a
was
Christmas
a
party.
terrorist attack.
Yeah, I love that guy. What was that dude, Franz?
Yeah, he was nasty.
he was great. I love that flick.
That's awful.
Come on, that was
Felt like
great. Bruce
Rudolph or
Willis,
something.
classic
Oh,
flick.
it's not a Christmas movie.
Who was the kid that drove the limo? Remember the kid down there that got stuck in the garage down there? He was driving a limo. He ends up knocking he knocked somebody out at the end. That was a good movie. I can watch that one over and over again.
Approaching that 100 plateau. Will they hit it? 104. The high for the Lopes. Oh, look at Kenley.
How quickly he
Good
moves
grief.
without the basketball. Is that 31 now? 31 for Kinley. Back-to-back 31 games.
He still looks like he's...
Most I ever scored in college was 31 points. He's done it on consecutive nights.
Martin couldn't take that feed from Blumbergs. Tries to take it himself. Oh, it doesn't go. Draws the foul, though. Blumbergs, ever since he got reinserted here in the second half, playing really well.
Much better in the second half than in the first half, being more aggressive. This is not mop-up time for him. He's using these as quality moments to try to get more into that rotation. He was a starter, if you remember, at the beginning of the season. He's gone to the bench. Coach Marley says, hey, this kid's got a ton of talent. I can't continue to wait on him, though. Put a little bit more muscle and labors in out there, and now he's got to find his way back into the rotation somewhat. Some well-educated Lopes fans here. They got their hands in the air, know all the proper protocol for the free throw line.
No, I saw that. I saw that at Talking Stick, too, with some of the older alumni folks. They're getting into it. Short. Oh. Martin's going to be called. He's smiling now.
Yeah, he's down there doing something naughty.
Yeah.
Got busted, pushing off underneath. Gonna send Carr to the line. I always want to call him Cooks tonight. The way he's been doing all this work underneath here, cooking up for his team and points and rebounds. Now he's got himself his 15th point, and he's got his double-double with 12 points. Hey, there's the boss.
Yeah.
That's the guy that writes checks for us. His lovely lady.
President Brian Mueller. I'm not sure that's part of his day-to-day duties, but certainly this was an opportunity that was given the thumbs up by President Mueller to have this game here in Las Vegas at the Orleans Arena, and what a great opportunity. And Dan Marley talked about that this morning, this opportunity to have the team play here, get familiar with the surroundings, know where the locker room, know where to come into the building, just everything. You know where the concessions are located. There's some of the things that have to be found out.
Absolutely. You don't want to come here the first time for the WAC tournament, meaning so much, and just be uncomfortable.
Braun tried to feed Blumbergs, picked off by the Bears. Carr. Jumper, short. Milstead, easy rebound. Brings it up. Oh, man, that was a needle that could not be threaded. Kenley slapped by Carr.
Kinley even said, hey, good play, son.
Good play.
Hey, it was a good play. I mean, Shaq Carr gets up there and is met him at the apex and says, I'm going to wait right up here for you and then give you a little taste of leather.
I don't know who wouldn't want to play with Kenley. Here comes the play. His team's down by a large margin, and there's no give up.
Yeah, they're down those 29 points, and this kid's playing like it's a tie ball game.
Coach wouldn't love to have him on their team. Cameron. You can say that a lot about the Bears, though. They're playing. Cameron, good hustle there.
I mean, they're 4-7. They're going to score a board watch for anybody. They're going to continue playing full 40 minutes of basketball. Uh-oh. I saw that coming.
Oh, yeah, he saw him.
Yeah, and that's going to be Jared Martin. He got whistled for that one. I think that might be 5 on Martin, but he's going out of the game. I mean, that's a play where, yeah, they're out here pressuring, but if you got 4, maybe you don't do it. You're up 30 points in 1:44 to go. Just go on. He'll get the ball over half court. I'd like to see Jared Martin on the floor for the next 144, see if he couldn't crack up another 3.
He'll have to take a seat. Braun takes a seat. Ibrahima Shankare is in the game. Sheikh Sai Sabane is in the game. Nehemiah Allen is going to check into the game at the scorer's table. The Lopes in control, 94-69, 1:37 to go.
Yeah,
Blumberg's out.
Great pace. I'm going to give a little credit. I mean, you were doing the lineups there, but the great pace. He had a hard drive there from the left side of the floor, knifed into the defense, got the contact, and had the concentration to finish the play. He's at the line shooting 1 right now on a tough move, like you had said before. Not giving up on this game. They're still playing hard.
Sheik and Kenley guarding each other, both from Harlem, New York. Milstead turns. Over to Sheik. Sheik strained it from the 3-point line, and he hits it again! Sheik Sabane!
Yeah, the Sheik doesn't waste any time when he gets that ball in his hand in the offensive end. He's quick to get that trigger stuck on automatic. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets another one up here in the next 70 seconds.
Cameron, Martez Cameron. Iron Sheik.
Yeah, Cameron's had a tough time tonight. Kind of nice to see him get that one go, because he's been out here pressuring from almost 90 feet of basketball. He's only 2 of 11 from the field, so good when the guy is out here working hard. He's been struggling a little bit on the offensive end, gets one to go.
Davis called.
Yeah, she gets this one here. He's a good 4 feet behind that line.
Wow.
Little foot fake to back up the defender to be able to get to measure the distance, and he knocked it down. This kid Milstead's been pretty good tonight too, hasn't he, Barry? He's been a bowl of energy out there on the floor, both sides of the court. 8 points for him now.
Most points in the game since Bethesda. 95 against Bethesda.
Well, coming off of that Louisville game, they didn't play particularly well and couldn't put a lot of points on the board and hadn't been able to get too much time in practice. The Christmas holiday, not the distractions, the good distractions of being with friends and family, but take your mind away from basketball for a minute. I didn't think this offense would click the way it has clicked tonight. I mean, they're going to possibly get 100 points tonight.
Yeah.
And they played such solid defense in that first half and holding the 33% shooting in that first half. They're doing a really good job here in the second half as well. They were shooting 6 of 30, 20% for most of this second half.
I think I saw Dan Marley smile over there.
No way.
I thought, I don't know if we have.
Must have been gas.
Yeah. Clare. Wow, you are, talk about an analyst. I mean, to be able to distinguish joy from some sort of stomach disorder. I mean, you're on your game tonight. Shankare. Sheikh Sabane, perfect 3 for 3 this season from the arc.
I want to see this go. I want to see the Lopes get 100 points this year. You got to make this one, man.
No pressure, Ibrahima. No pressure. There you go. You are happy now?
I'm all happy. Free tacos. Wait, never mind.
Whoa. You hear that, everybody?
Scratch that.
100-point plateau. Last time, 2015, 104 against Nebraska Omaha. Lopes fans here at the Orleans Arena on their feet. They'll just dribble it out. As the Lopes pick up their 10th victory of the season against the Morgan State Bears here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
That's going to be a turnover. You don't normally see the team that's down by 30 points dribble out the clock like that.
There's still some time. 0.9.
Okay, so then the Lopes will throw it in, and hopefully they won't put any pressure. You just took the turnover. Don't put pressure on the inbounder.
There we go. It's over.
Yeah, great job by the Lopes. Both ends of the court. They came to play.
100-74, the final score. Certainly responded after a tough loss at Louisville to bounce back here at a neutral site. They traveled to Illinois, and then it's conference play getting underway at Seattle. Big game tonight. Josh Braun, 18 points in the game. 11 for Benson and Vernon. Adu had 12. Kenley led the way for all scorers with 31 points. Taiwan Kenley from the Morgan State Bears. We'll step aside, be back with Coach Marley's post-game press conference and some of our final thoughts from Vegas. The Lopes win it 100-74. Back at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas, Lopes win it 100-74, 52% from the field, 13 of 29 from the arc, 4 of 13 for the Bears. Free throws 19 of 23. The Bears hit 28 of 36. Kenley was a perfect, 12 of 12 from the free throw line for the Bears. 24-11 in the assist. Look at the bench points. We talked about the bench points thriving. 43-11 bench points. They came to play.
That's what they've been doing, though. I mean, the bench has been coming in and dropping 36 points a night. And when they went out on the road, it was kind of tough at Louisville. Yeah. They didn't get the production that they would have liked. Nice to see that bench bounce back tonight. And give Martin a lot of credit for providing a big emotional lift to that bench.
And we will have post-game press conference coming up from Dan Marley as we get set here at the Orleans Arena for that with Kate Longworth. Paul Cora will be alongside, but a time now for our player of the game, and what a big bounce-back game for Josh Braun. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 of 9 from the arc.
Yeah, I like his effectiveness offensively. It wasn't just spotting up from behind the arc. It was going and getting on the offensive glass. It was spacing the floor, getting into the deep corners, and making it real tough for the defense to find him. And even when he didn't make a shot, it seemed like he was putting so much pressure on the defense that his teammates were able to get into the act. So well-deserved honor, Josh Braun bouncing back in a big way.
He seemed to kind of get into the rhythm. You know, we've seen it before from the arc, but he really got physical. He was in the paint. It seemed like that was where he kind of got going tonight.
A little nasty.
I think that's the way to go,
the
right?
whole team was a little apprehensive in Louisville. Whether they took it on themselves or the coaching staff pointed it out, who knows? I don't know. But it was nice to see them come out here with more aggressive energy, offensively. I mean, you go for 100 points. You were obviously doing something right. I love the way that they mixed in the inside and the outside tonight. I mean, it was more kind of outside in the first half, a number of guys knocking down long shots, but they went back inside in the second half, shot 57% in that second half.
All right, let's send it over to Kate Longworth and Paul Coro.
Welcome back. Paul Coro and I standing inside here. We're in just a few moments. Dan Marley will be joining us to talk about this game. But wow, a lot to talk about as the Lopes hit 100 points for the first time in school history in regulation. And I think even more than that, you got to look big picture. They now know the lay of the land here. But first, after that loss at Louisville, what stands out to you in this bounce back performance?
Well, it's hard to pick a side because you saw good things on both sides of the ball. Once again, one of those defensive efforts we've seen them do at times, holding a team to 30% shooting. You know, once they reduce the fouls, you know, Dan Marley calls that timeout at the beginning of the second half when they fouled on the first 3 possessions. After that, they really locked them down. Obviously, their high scorer had another great game, but they didn't let other people hurt them. And then offensively, it was across the board. It wasn't leaning on one guy. There was so many guys. 9 guys had 8 or more points. Just, you know, and across. And you wonder without Oscar Freire in the starting lineup, how that affects chemistry and everything. You know, Casey's moving off the ball, so then he still gets his 5 assists. Shaq gets 6 assists. You know, and the ball was moving. They played with a lot more tempo tonight too. And
you mentioned chemistry. From your standpoint, you've been with the team. How much do you think this chemistry is starting from this road trip? Are they building that off-court chemistry that now is translating on the court?
Yeah, I know this is a long one. You know, they'll go to Illinois from here, but I think coaches love this because it forces guys to be all about basketball. You know, school's out right now. They're around each other all the time. They love each other anyway, but now they're spending all their time together. They get an extra practice time. You see what they've worked on from Louisville to today and how that's worked. And, you know, they wanted to just put that game behind them. They talked a lot about getting their mojo back, and I think that tonight did that.
How key is it to see Josh Braun coming around and finding his game what we know him for?
That, I mean, 5 threes from him might have been the best thing of the night for everyone to see. I mean, we know he's good for 18, 20 when he's playing like that on the regular. And to see him hit those back-to-back threes, even though the game was pretty much already going in hand, that might have been one of the highlights of the night, to see him shoot with confidence like that. Because you saw in the early going it was there, but it wasn't there. But that was the rhythm shooting Josh Braun that we know.
And you mentioned getting a little production from everyone, a guy you've been writing about the last couple of weeks, and we see step up time and time again. Fifi Adu, what'd you see? Well, why talk about Fifi when we can watch this guy step right up to the podium? Go on in, Dan Marley.
Really good game. The Lopes score 100. Holy cow. Just the energy was really good. The only negative I have about this game is transition. They really pushed the ball and got out in transition. We did a really good job besides that in the half court. Too many fouls. You know, they got to the foul line. But just really good energy offensively. I thought everybody came in, played extremely well. Good to see Josh get it going a little bit. He needed that. We needed that. You know, Shaq starting, played really well. Keontae, when he was in there, really well. I thought Rob, in the second half, had a couple breakthrough moments, which, you know, he needs as a freshman. But overall, just everybody played well. Great team win. It's a good experience, so very happy.
You feel like the ball moved more by pass than dribble tonight?
Oh, no question. 24 assists. You know, we try to put in stuff where we just get off the ball, movement. Did a good job of that, especially in the first half. They went to the zone. We still did a good job of moving the ball, trying to get it inside. You know, I thought Ollie did a really good job. You know, he just got to finish around the basket. But, you know, really nice offensive rebounds a couple times, high-low, get out there and sealed. He just got to take his time and make the plays. But, yeah, I thought everybody moved the basketball. No, but didn't really stick. And we shot it really well.
What's been the message to the team, especially after that loss on Saturday, and how have they responded?
Well, I told them today, I mean, we were kind of, before the season, everybody was kind of picking Grand Canyon. And now everybody thinks we're dead. And I understand that. You know, we haven't played real well. New Mexico State's playing great. And I just said it's time to get our mojo back. We're a better team than this. Nothing's changed. We just hit a little bit of a low. Got to get our mojo back. Got to get our confidence up. Got to play as a team. Got to get out of yourself. Just win games. If you're not making shots, rebound, play defense, and all those things will come around. I thought we did a better job of that. So we just got to continue that. You know, as we get closer and closer. We got a really hard game coming up against Illinois, and then we got Seattle, New Mexico State. League starts. So we got to get ourselves back to having a lot of confidence and playing fun, playing free, but yet fundamentally strong.
Do you look for the players to kind of step up in those roles and
Always.
bring
I
that
told
fun
them,
back? And who did
yeah,
that?
the coaches, you know, our coaching staff can want to win as bad and work as hard, but until the team takes over the team, you know, we're not going to be a good team. Until somebody takes that locker room by the throat as a player and they decide that they want to be better and they want to listen and they want to improve, then they'll be a good team. I think that's starting to happen. But we've done a good job against teams, and you know, that's a good team. You know, they got those guys back, and they're, you know, so we did a good job. But we have to step up and play against, you know, the upper echelon teams that we should be able to beat and hang with. And so far, we haven't done that this year. You know, Boise State was a very good test for us. We let that one go. But I'm happy with this game, and hopefully, it'll, you know, catapult us forward.
Do you like having this extended amount of road time together?
Yeah, no. I mean, you miss your family. You know, I know our guys miss, you know, some of them got their families here now, but you miss being home for the holidays. Everybody misses that. You never like being on the road for 10, 11 days, but it's good for to be on the road and go through battles and see each other every day and eat, you know, with each other every day and go through practice. And, you know, it's so comfy back at our house and where we play that, you know, sometimes we lose perspective. And so it's good, but, you know, you always wish you were home. But I think this is a good trip for our guys.
How?
Oh, no, our fans are unbelievable. Are you kidding me? Wherever we go, we travel well. I mean, you know, Lopes on the road, you know, President Mueller with the ability to us to come here and rent the facility and play here just so that we have a shot to get in here before the WAC tournament and people getting on the buses, the cheerleaders, the dance, the band. You know, I've said from the beginning that this takes a university to raise a great team, and they've done way more than their share. They're absolutely unbelievable. So our fan base is incredible.
Tailoring off that, how key is it to get the lay of the land here in Vegas before that March tournament?
I think it's big. It is. Just get our guys. We've had, I think, 5 or 6 guys never been to Vegas. You know, Ali and Rob and Fifi, all those guys, they've never been here. So to get here, to see this gym, to be able to practice once, to have shoot around, to have a game, you know, get them familiar with it. So when they walk in here for those 3 games, hopefully those 3 games, they'll be comfortable. They've been here before and now look back at a good experience.
Did you like that look with Casey off the ball more tonight?
Well, I mean, when Shaq plays like that, I like it. I mean, we got to have other ball there. I thought Damari was good. So the problem with what Shaq has had, every time he gets comfortable, he gets comfortable. And he can't play comfortable. He's got to play on fire. He's got to play with a sense of urgency. He's got to play like I'm going to pull him out of the game. And when he does that, he's really good. His problem is he gets casual. So, yeah, we need him. But if he doesn't play well, I got Damari right there to move in. So he's got to stay on edge. He's got to stay on edge. And Casey's got to continue to work. And but it was good to see Josh. I mean, I was really happy for Josh. You know, but nobody's harder than Josh on Josh. And just told me just got to just play. All right, thank you.
Congrats. Yeah. Safe travels.
Post-game press conference from head coach Dan Marley, and
you're right. He is giddy. He is downright giddy for Coach Marley after a game.
Here, trips to Vegas. Who would have thought? Get away for a little while. Enjoy this road trip. Big bounce-back game. Time to revisit your 3 keys.
Yeah, I thought they really came out and out-hustled Morgan State tonight. They got on the defensive glass. They got a loose ball. They got deflections. They did it all tonight. And then the strips, they forcing the turnovers and the 13 turnovers. And a number of those they got into fast break opportunities where they got down and got points. And they mixed it up really nice. I mean, not only just the full house points in the paint, but also knocking down outside shots as well. They had a nice rhythm and flow to their game. I mean, they took – 17 threes in that first half, made 6 of them, and they come back, they take 12 threes in the second half, make 7 of those. So nice job of going back inside a little bit more and less outside shots.
Still a little talk about transition. Got to tighten that up a little bit, a little quicker in transition. And then the comments about Shaq Carr, you know, he's got an opportunity here. He's got to play with that edge. He can't take any plays off.
Well, I thought there was a great effort by everybody. And I like the way Coach Marley threw a lot of praise around from Martin to Blumbergs to Shaq Carr to Milstead to Josh Braun. Casey Benson played well. I'm probably forgetting Fifi Adu was fantastic with Lavers. I thought he was really effective inside early in his basketball game. So great team effort. They'll lump this one on for the 10th win and keep it rolling. They go up to Illinois.
Yeah, they do. They travel to Illinois. That's New Mexico State was able to knock them off at the United Center, so they go up there and they try to take on Illinois. And then it all gets started with conference play. This team, after Louisville, you were wondering, there's still some things that needed to be answered here. Tonight, you feel a little bit better with 2 games left to go, with 1 game rather, before conference play.
Yeah, it was good to see everybody play well. That'll give them some good momentum.
All right. Well, the team will be traveling to Illinois as they go to Champaign, Illinois, but a lot of coverage will be coming your way on the radio as the game gets underway December 30th, and then they'll travel to Seattle University on January 6th to start WAC play. Be sure to tune in to Michael Potter and Tom Kuiper for all the action on the Fanatic 1580 AM, 95.9 FM, or 99.3 FM. Our next televised game on your view will be on January 11th. It'll be a whiteout. New Mexico State, the Aggies, hot off their upset win over top 10 Miami. They come to GCU Arena to take on the Lopes. That place will be rocking. Pregame starts with Kate at 6:30. Tip-off shortly after at 7. But that'll do it from here tonight at the Orleans Arena, where the Lopes beat the Bears 100-74. Please join us again January 11th. As I mentioned, GCU hosting New Mexico State. But until then, for Kate Longworth, Scott Williams, and our entire crew, I'm Barry Butel from Las Vegas, wishing you a very happy New Year.